massive text out to everybody to let everybody know my brothers from another mother were going to be on today from across the pond over the UK. Mr. Ahmed is going to be joining us. Mr. Abdul is going to be joining us today. Mr. Brian, I've called, talked to my friends from across the pond, and I told them that Mr. Brian, who owns a cell phone store in Fresno, California, who has watched his video a couple hundred times nonstop, his children even know about it. So when I got off the phone yesterday, I called them immediately, and he almost passed out. And I said, I don't know if he even got to sleep last night, Mr. Brian, but his hero, and I told him then, I said, your hero is going to be on the phone tomorrow during our conference call from London. And right now in London, it's 5:00 p.m. in London. Yeah, London. So you guys got to understand how to grow an international business. You got to think larger than just your little city or your state or United States. I'm trying to get you guys to think global when I did these calls years ago. But anyway, we got these gentlemen on the call, and I want them to just share their story and just talk to you guys. I told me I had a half an hour. So Ahmed, are you there, sir? And Abdullah, you there?
Hey, Mr. Thomas, I am here.
Hey, sir, how are you doing? Oh, there you are. All right.
Yes, I am here.
All right. Well, thank you for being on the call. It was nice chatting with you yesterday to get caught up. And people don't understand that we have a great relationship. And I remember when you used to come over to the United States when you were just a team coordinator. We had that level called team coordinator, which is a little bit low in RD at the time. And you came over, was picking our brains, and you guys was just showing the magazine with us in it as circle members as the inspiration. And now you guys have blown up such a large organization over the UK. Oh, and by the way, congratulations. You got your first regional vice president in Germany last week. And I'm trying to get people to get to see this as a global. Yes. We think so small. We think so, my little city, my little small town. Even when people give me flyers, I say, go back and fix it. Think like not just your city, think the globe. And people just think too small. So I just want to say thank you. I said, Abdullah just got on. Hey, and I just want you guys to share some of your things that you guys are doing and how you went from where you are to where you're at today. So the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Al Thomas. Really appreciate, you having me on. And, Mr. Al Thomas, he's someone that, I remember I used to watch your videos when I first started ACN. And then, coming over to the States for the first time in 2014, I remember meeting you in person, and I was a TC, an RD at the time, and Abdul was a TC. And then we just started talking. And then today, being able to be friends, building the business together globally, it really, really is an absolute honor. So ladies and gents, as Mr. Thomas said, my name is Ahmed Mukhtar. I'm 31 years old. I started ACN when I was 24. Back then I was working as a manager for a large supermarket chain in the UK. It was a large departmental store, just very, very similar to what you guys have in the US called Macy's. So I was working in a department store. I was a manager there. I started working there from the age of 16 up until I was 24. So whilst I was studying full-time at university and college and so on, I was still, working part-time there. So after I graduated, they gave me a full-time job role. They promoted me to be a manager there. And that's what I was doing. And I did that for around 8 years. And, I was telling a group yesterday that I genuinely believe that in the world, nothing just happens by chance. Everything happens because it's a string of puzzles that eventually puzzle together. And that's what ultimately just determines the outcome of things. And when you look back in retro, retro perspective, you take a look and you're like, wow, those things were meant to happen, for me to be where I am today. And let me give you guys an example. So, where I was working, in fact, I wasn't meant to work at that branch. In fact, I applied for a local, store they had that was local to my parents' home at the time. So in 2013, when I was living at home with my mom and dad, I applied for a local store that was near my parents' home at the time. Now, for some reason, I attended the interview there. And when I attended the interview, they said, I'm so sorry, we don't have a job for you. We're completely packed out, and we don't have a role for you. So what they said to me, they said, go down to our West London branch, and our West London branch might have a position, you know, a sales advisor position. So I said, okay, no problem. So I went down to the West London branch. Now, West London, from where I was living, Northwest London at the time, is around 45 minutes to 50 minutes on a bus. And that's what I used to take, you know, back then. So I took the bus, 50 minutes, I get to West London, and they tell me in West London, I'm so sorry, we have no jobs. But the nearest place that I can tell you that they have a vacant position right now available, they said it's in Southwest London. Now, Southwest London from my parents' home, that's an hour and a half. So I just go because I was desperate for a job at the time. I was broke. I really needed money. So I go to Southwest London and I meet a lady there and she's like, okay, you know what? We can get you in. And I started working in Southwest London, even though I'm working in Northwest London. Now, what's ironic is years later, almost 7 years later, after working in Southwest London, there's a guy that starts the job, right? And he's a security guard for the company, right? So he ends up being a security officer. He's looking after the doors. I'm a manager. And that's the guy that introduced me to ACN. It's crazy, right? Now, had it not been for those string of things, those puzzles of things to happen in my life, which at the time I didn't understand. I'm thinking, man, why am I traveling all the way to Southwest London? Why am I commuting almost 2 hours, you know, every day to go to work and commute almost 2 hours back to my parents' home in Northwest London? So back then I was thinking, man, this is absolutely inconvenient. But just think about this. If I did not do that, I would probably not be in ASEAN now, number one. And he would never have shown me ASEAN because we would have never met. So the point I'm trying to make, guys, is that in life, if you do what's convenient, later on, you're going to bear the consequences of having inconvenience in your life. So let me give you an example. If you never step out your comfort zone, if you never step out of, you know, the things that, the things that you're used to, the things that are within your, within your parameters, if you never step out of there, later on in life, you're going to have inconvenience. And what I mean by that is later on, you're going to have the inconvenience of, oh, sorry, kids, daddy cannot get time off work. I'm sorry, kids, but mummy's too busy. I'm sorry, kids, we don't have money to do this, or we don't have time to go on that dream vacation that you guys want. So you're going to have to bear the consequences of inconvenience. But if you do what's inconvenient today, later on in life, you're going to have all the convenience in the world to do all the things that you want to do. So look, the reality is, do what's inconvenient today so you can have inconvenience later. But if you do what's convenient today so you can have, if you do what's convenient today, you're going to have inconvenience later. And if you do what's inconvenient today, you're going to have convenience later. So, so when we started in 2013, guys, we didn't even know this industry even existed, yet alone ACN. We had no idea what network marketing was. We didn't even know what direct sales was. We didn't even know, we weren't business people. We weren't entrepreneurs. We were just young kids, that was raised in the ghettos of Northwest London that just wanted to make it out. Starting at the age of 24 and, all my other business partners being like 22, 23, some being 19 years old. And we started. So first 4 months, we struggled. We completely struggled. And that what happened was, so we started, June 11th, 2013. Then 4 months later, ACN had a convention that they had in October in 2013. So first 4 months, completely struggled. I have 5 business partners on my team, nothing special. So I go to this convention in October 2013. And when I went to this convention, I see people from all around the world. In Europe, we're in 18 countries in Europe. So you have people from all across these 18 countries. And what's crazy is no one speaks the same language, because Spain, they speak Spanish. And now France, they speak French. We speak English in the UK. So it's like everyone's got these headsets on, and ACN are translating the training on stage simultaneously. So sometimes there's an Italian speaker on stage. I've got to listen to my headset to find out what he's saying in English. But anyways, what really impressed me was the fact that this company had people that were SVPs, RVPs from all around the world, people from all walks of life. I'm talking about different backgrounds, cultures, religions, people that were different educational levels. And all these people were having success. I saw people getting promoted. And I remember that weekend, myself and 5 of my business partners, we looked at each other and we said, look, guys, we can do this. And that's the first thing we said. We said, we can really do this, but we understand one thing. There's going to take hard work. It's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of dedication. And we've got to put our excuses to the side and bring our work ethic to the table. And that's all we needed. So that weekend, when we returned back to the UK, here's what we did. And honestly, I'm going to tell you guys a step-by-step thing that exactly what we did. So it was myself and 5 other business partners. So our entire team was only 6 of us. So here's what we said. We looked at one of our business partners, who was with us at the time. He was 19 at the time. And I just simply said to him, hey, listen, dude, you have an apartment that you have by yourself. He was living at home by himself, where all of us who were living with our parents. So we said, so look, why don't we use your apartment, and why don't we just do PBRs Monday to Sunday? Why don't we just do that? And he said, okay, sounds like a good idea. So we use my place and we'll just do PBRs. So we said, okay, perfect. So what we now did, everyone, we all made a list, and we just started inviting every single person we knew to the PBRs that we were having. We had PBRs at 6 o'clock, and this was Monday to Sunday. So first one start on the weekends, we did it all day, but the weekdays we did it after 6 o'clock. So we had one at 6 o'clock. We had one at 6:45. We had another one at 7:30. We had another one 8:15. We had another one at 9 o'clock. We had another one 9:45. And we had our final one at 10 o'clock, at 10:30. And just in one evening, we were doing almost 6 PBRs from 6 to 10:30, 45-minute slot. And literally it was like a McDonald's conveyor belt that just had fries and shakes loaded on there that was just getting served to customers. That's the way we were serving people the business. Someone will come in, they see the vision, perfect, they're in. If they don't see the vision, thank you very much. Help us by becoming a customer. And that's all we did. And what ended up happening was we were really surprised, because no one taught us how to do a presentation. We didn't know how to do a PBR. We didn't know how to host. We didn't know how to edify, but the convention was more than enough, that all we needed. And we learned everything that we needed to know from the convention. So we got back and we just got to work. We brought our work ethic to the table, and we started inviting people to these home meetings. And here's what will happen. First home meeting at 6 o'clock, 5 will show up. The second one, 8 will show up. The third one, maybe 3 will show up. The fourth one, maybe 2 might show up. The fifth one, 1 might show up. It doesn't matter, but we kept on going. At the end of the night, we saw that 11 people got started in the business amongst us 5. And for us, we have no upline, no one that's doing our presentations for us, no Zoom call, no system like what you guys are having today, that Mr. Al Thomas is here pouring into you guys. And you guys got other great leaders on the call that are here to help you as well. We didn't have that. So that's, and that's what we exactly did. And first night, I remember 11 people signing up. We literally hugged each other at the end. We're like, can you believe it? 11 people got signed up. We have no one to edify, right? We rarely see our uplines. We don't even know who our upline SVP is at this time, right? So we're literally just out in the woods, just trying to hunt for ourselves. There's no one to edify. There was no weekly training in London at the time that you can actually show someone a social proof. That didn't even exist, because it was like almost a brand new market. But here's what ended up happening. Now, Tuesday, more people sign up. Wednesday, more people sign up. And we are just freaking out. Because here you have people that have no credibility. We have no track record. Have any of you made money? No, we haven't, but we are. That was literally the lingo. But one thing, it made me realize that people don't follow people with money or success. People follow people with vision, and people that have a clear direction, people that have a clear vision into where they want to go. And our team started growing. And we saw in 1 week, 40 new business partners join our team. Then we grew again. 50 people joined our team. And we grew and we grew and grew. First 4 months, think about this, only 6 people in our entire group. Now, 8 months later, there was a total of 7,000 people in our team. That's a total of 1 year. First 4 months, 6 people. 8 months later, 7,000 business partners in our team. And all we did was that. We just did that, and people saw us presenting. And what ended up happening was people now started doing exactly what we were doing. And we used to tell people, hey, did you see what we just done here? We have a very basic room. We have a TV. We connected our laptops on, and we just presented. Did you see what we just did? Perfect. Can you do that in your home? And what happened was people now started taking initiative in our team, and our leaders started doing that. So we had ETLs that started doing that, RDs, and our team just started exploding. Within our first 3 years, 22,000 people were in our team. We couldn't even believe it. Today, 7 years later, over 20 regional vice president, senior vice presidents, RVP gold, platinums, in our group. So the point I'm trying to make, guys, is all it takes is a group of people to rally up and say, you know what, we're going to do this. We're not going to look back. We believe in ACN. We understand the concept. Look, listen, it's, you know, when you take a look at the opportunity you guys have in America, because I genuinely mean it when I say, I'm sure for those of you that are in relationships, you know, you probably heard this saying before, you know, one day someone's going to come into your life and they're going to make you realize why it didn't work with someone else, right? I think we kind of heard that, you know, that saying before. Here's the point I'm trying to make. Unless you have a comparison in life, sometimes it's very hard to understand what you have right now. And I'm telling you, in the USA, you have no idea the opportunity you guys have until you come to other markets. And I genuinely mean this when I say, you have 350 million people. The state of California alone is big enough to be a country in Europe. Like what, 36 million population? We hear things like New York being 18 million people. Like, we cannot believe these numbers when we say, you can go from state to state. You know, each state that you build your business is like you're building it in a whole new country. That's how huge the country of the United States is. When you take a look at the average American holding down 2, maybe 3 jobs, you know, struggling to put food on the table, look at the opportunity we have. And here we have an opportunity to get paid residual income off of the essential household services that people need and use every day. Like, honestly, like it's insane. It doesn't matter. You know, when you guys launch ID Seal, it's like when you really come to think about it, it's like selling ice cream in a festival on a baking hot summer's day. It's like everyone practically wants it, or a cold beverage or a cold drink on a hot summer's day in a festival. It's like you almost know that that's going to sell. That's how paramount and that's how important a service like ID Seal is. Whether you're in an energy market or not, if you are, great. If not, you can build into one. And your business can really grow global. And you know what's crazy? You know, every single person, and I'm going to close out with this, every single person that I sponsored into the business to go SVP, 6 lines to go SVP, every single person that I sponsored, they were within a 10-mile radius of each other. You guys are going to get to hear from a gentleman that was one of the people that I sponsored into the business. Today he's an RVP Gold, you know, with hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds monthly basis in billing he has in his business. You know, he has already 3 or 4 regional vice presidents, very close to platinum, you know, and he's very close to SVP, by the way, you know, and he was one of the people I sponsored. Now, the point I'm trying to make is all the 6 lines of business that I sponsored, they were within a radius of 10-mile radius of each other, 10 miles. Like, literally, there was not a single person I sponsored that was out of 10-mile radius, because that's all I knew at the time. Now, here's what's crazy. Those people were the people, right, that helped us to get to SVP. Just think about this, 10-mile radius. So I'm telling you, you can really build such a big business in your own backyard. But as Mr. Thomas said, it can grow so global that you would never even be able to fathom it. Today, those 6 lines that we sponsored, today we have 3 regional vice presidents in Germany. We have 4 regional vice presidents in the country of Norway, which is Scandinavia, complete 2 different languages. I never built in those countries, but through our team, they became RVPs. So the point I'm trying to make, guys, is really that your business can really grow global. We have e-commerce platform that today we have Zoom technology that you can interlink and connect with anyone in the world. I mean, me right now, I mean, especially right now with the whole coronavirus, pandemic going on, I really pray that everyone is safe and, healthy, and I hope your families are well. But with the whole virus going on right now, listen, people, there has never been a time in the history of the world that I know for a fact that people need ACN. How many jobs have closed down? How many restaurants have gone out of business? How many staff have been laid off? How many businesses went for foreclosure? How many people on the verge of they're struggling to even pay their rent? Now more than ever, you can call someone and really just say the following to them. And this is all I've been doing. And I've been on Zoom calls, by the way. Like, I start my day at, my Zoom calls at like 1 p.m. And like my last one is like 12:30 a.m. at night. That's how busy I've been. On a daily basis, I speak to around almost 300 people I do a Zoom call with. Whether I do it with a group of 10, another group of 15, another group of 200, 100. On a daily basis, I'm able to speak to 300 almost a day, a week. That's thousands of people on a weekly basis. And all we've been able to do is just simply say, if I would you. That's all you got to remember. If I would you. Hey, listen, if I sent you a link to a webinar on Wednesday, 7 p.m., just hypothetical example, on Saturday at 10 a.m., if I sent you a link to a webinar, would you come and take a look at what it is that we do? If I would you. If I sent you a link to a webinar showing you how you can have an online business at home in this time that we're currently going through, make some extra money, or even potentially be in a position that your life can change financially. Would you take a look? If I would, you, that's it. And we've told this to our entire team. And when we have our group, our team calls, and we have a BOM, a team BOM, we have like 600 people showing up to each Zoom call. And it's just been insane. And it's numbers that we didn't even see before COVID-19. You know, our numbers right now on an average basis, on a monthly basis, have gone up 25 to 30% in comparison to outside of COVID-19. And here's the reason why. Because everyone's available. Normally, you got to try get someone to be available. Now, everyone's available. Everyone's in quarantine. Everyone has time. Dude, can you jump on a call in an hour? Yes, I'm available. I mean, what are you doing? Right? You're going to have a shower? Well, then what else, right? Right? So everyone's available. So right now, you can really get this information in front of so many people, especially with the scenario that we're in, you know, and use this Zoom technology and utilize this. So ladies and gents, that's a bit about me. Thank you guys so much for having me on the call. I really, really appreciate, you know, you guys' time. And in fact, what I'm going to do, Mr. Thomas, if you don't mind, I'll just introduce straight Abdul. You know, there's someone I want you guys to really hear from. He's someone, again, I've got a lot of respect for. He's a very, very good friend of mine. You know, he was one of the first few people, like literally one of our first 5 business partners that we had, you know, when there was honestly nothing to believe in, no success stories in the UK, you know, and we still, you know, literally, you know, I remember, you know, the first time when he joined ACN, you know, I directly sponsored him into the business. And he literally said to me, so Ahmed, who's having success in this in the UK? You know, in the UK? I said, no one. And I said, but look, there's YouTube videos of Americans doing it. And he was like, really? Well, someone's doing it in America. I'm like, yeah, people are doing it in America. And just on that was enough for him to say, you know what, let's do this. And we've been side by side ever since the last 7 years. We literally rode, you know, we ride this out together. And today he's an RVP Gold and a Circle of Champions member. So with that being said, ladies and gents, please help me welcome on the call my very dear friend, Regional Vice President Gold, Abdul Sharif. Abdul, over to you.
Can everyone hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear, Abdul. Go ahead.
Fantastic. I'm sure everyone can see me as well. Hope everyone's staying safe at home. I know this is a very hard time. I'm actually outside because I've actually had to do some grocery shopping. So I'm literally walking home and doing this conference call with you guys. But I just want to say, honestly, Ahmed has been one of the most amazing leaders, and I thank him every single day for introducing me to this amazing opportunity. And one thing I want to let everyone know is that ACN is life-changing only if you work hard. I mean, before ACN, I was working as a marketing executive for Chelsea Football Club, and Chelsea Football Club is one of the best teams in London. Well, only if you really support them, right? And I was working there for 2 years, and I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired. I just hated working 9 to 5, and I always wanted to have a life of abundance. And the crazy thing is I couldn't start my own business because I never had the capital. I wanted to set up a restaurant, and I wanted to set up some sort of clothing line, and I realized that I didn't have the capital to actually get started. So luckily, Ahmed, he actually gave me a call. And I actually met Ahmed Mukhtar from university. We actually used to study business at university. Imagine that. And it's crazy. 2 years later, he calls me and says, hey, there's an opportunity. I want you to come and have a look. So when I came to see the opportunity and he showed me ACN and that you can make residuals over essential services, one thing that made sense to me is that you can get paid every single month on people that are using, you know, gas and electricity, mobile phones, internet. And to me, that was a no-brainer. Why? Because everyone's using these services. So I thought to myself, hold on, if I can get paid for every single person in my network that I know that are using these essential services, and I can attain financial freedom and no longer work, then it's a no-brainer. So I got started straight away. I was not skeptical. I didn't say, oh, is this a pyramid scheme or anything like that? You know, I was a green apple, man. I mean, I got started straight away. I was excited and I couldn't sleep. And they say that when you start ACN and you can't sleep for 7 nights, you got the ACNemia disease, the ACN virus, right? So I was just really, really excited. I couldn't sleep for 7 days, 8 days. And I just was always excited to just introduce people to the opportunity and be excited with me. And I thought to myself that the fact that I was excited, I thought everyone that I was going to introduce, I thought they were all going to be excited. But the problem was, it wasn't the case. And I realized I had a lot of negative people telling me that, you know, that this business won't work, and that I should stop doing what I'm doing. But instead of listening to negative people, I rather followed mentors such as Ahmed Mukhtar and people like Simon Aboud, who are living a massive lifestyle with ACN. So I just wanted to stick with the plan and follow the simple system in order to achieve that goal. And what happened was, luckily, I actually got sacked from my job, right? Because every single time I was doing late night PBRs, I was doing so many PBRs, and I was just so tired to go to work, and I was calling in sick all the time because work just wasn't exciting for me anymore. ACN was, and they let me go. So what happened was, when they let me go, Ahmed said to me, Abs, we need to go to Barcelona. There's an international convention, and this is going to change our life. And I said, Ahmed, how can this change our life? How can we go to Barcelona and it's just going to change our life? Like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, look, all the mentors have done it, and everyone that become an RVP or SVP, these people have attended the international convention, so there must be something special about this. He said, I don't know what it is because I've never been, but let's go together and find out. So the last bit of money that I had, I managed to get some money together, and, you know, we booked a flight, and when we actually got there, we stayed in a one-room apartment. It was me, Ahmed, and 2 other guys. And it's crazy because when we were there, we were literally struggling. We had no money. We were living on tuna cans and French bread every single day. I mean, only 2 nights. What we did was, to get some mayonnaise, we were going to Burger King and getting mayonnaise packets and ketchup packets, right? We didn't even have enough money to buy the actual mayonnaise from the supermarket. We had to get packets, right? And, man, this gives me good memories. And you know, when we first saw the international convention, we saw so many people getting promoted, people from all different aspects of life, you know, from different religions, races, cultures. And we thought to ourselves, if these people can become RVPs, team coordinators, regional directors, then we can do the exact same thing. And when we saw the founders on stage, especially Greg's final speech, Greg Provenzano, I remember his final speech, that really, really touched me. And I realized that we're literally a part of a company that's going to make history. And the people behind this company are good people, integrous, and people that stick to their word. So we thought we can trust our families with this company. So when we got back to the UK, we got to work. I mean, we were doing PBRs and we were doing numbers, man. And I literally managed to hit the position of regional director 3 months after coming back from the international convention. And then what happened was, in total, it took me 14 months to become a regional vice president. And what can I say, man? You know, when I actually became a regional vice president, that's when my life honestly changed. And today I'm actually a regional vice president gold, Circular Champions member. And, you know, I've been a Circular Champions member now for the last 5 years. I've been in the business now for 7 years, and it's been absolutely the best experience of my life. And today it's allowed me to have time freedom. It's allowed me to spend more time with my family. It's allowed me to travel in so many different countries around the world. And the best thing about ACN is allowed me to meet people around the world, such as Al Thomas. I mean, Al Thomas is one of the best guys that I find so inspirational. I mean, when you're having a conversation with Al Thomas, there's levels upon levels. You know, I never thought that I'll be having a conversations about jets. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, man, the fact that you guys are working with Al Thomas, he's a great leader, servant leader, and he's literally here to help the people. We literally had a conference call with him yesterday to catch up. And just for you guys, he said, look, I want you and Ahmed to be a part of the conference call with my team. So he thinks about, just by saying that, that's how I know he thinks about you guys all the time, and he thinks about you guys. So I just want to shout out to Al Thomas. He's a servant leader, and I'm so grateful to have him as also my mentor as well. And I'm telling you one thing, guys. I mean, now with everything that's going on in the world with the coronavirus and everything, we have treasure in our hands. You know, a lot of people are made redundant from work, you know, we have a home-based business where we can still build the business and help other people build the businesses as well. And we can make a residual income whilst people are being redundant. We're building from home, you know. I mean, now there's no other best time to actually be doing ACN right now. People are quarantining and chilling in their houses, and they have the most time right now to take advantage of a home-based business such as ACN. So every single one of you have an opportunity right now to literally attack the market. Every single person at the moment, they're looking for something. They're looking for the next big thing. What can I do to feed my family whilst I'm quarantining? What can I do to keep myself busy? And it's ACN. You know, I mean, we've been doing so many Zoom PBRs here in the UK. We've been doing Zoom events. And this is how a lot of people are getting involved in the business. I mean, we're actually, in the last 2 weeks, you know, our Senior Vice President, Ahmed Mukhtar, and myself, with our whole team, Future Lifestyle Network, we put in literally over 200 reps in the last week. And this is during the time of the coronavirus. I mean, this is phenomenal. So now is really the time to kickstart your business and take it to the next level, because people are free. When you invite people to the event or a PBR sometimes, people always make excuses and say, oh, sorry, I have work. Oh, sorry, my dog just died. Oh, sorry, I'm too ill to come to the event. Oh, sorry, I just got caught up. I'm busy. But now, what excuse do people have to see a business like ACN? I mean, come on. People are just chilling and quarantining in their homes. People are staying at home, not doing anything. So now they have the most time available to look at an opportunity like ACN. And when they see it, it will make complete sense to them. Because even during this time, all the leaders are still getting paid residual. None of us have been made redundant. And ACN is still revenuing across towards the $1 billion mark. So now is the best time to do ACN, guys. I wish I can stay here much longer and tell you more about my story. But if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I'll be more than happy to connect. If you just go on at Abdul Sharif LN, I'll follow back as well, and we can definitely connect there. But thank you so much, Al Thomas, for having me on the call, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, don't leave just yet. Don't leave just yet. You know, I told my organization, sometimes you can tell your organization, but I had to go across the ocean for them to hear what you're saying. You guys out there listening can have a business with hundreds of people, and I've said to you, weekly, and some of you are going to go 100 people a month. They're doing 200 people a week. So don't tell me what's not possible. I told you that vision. I had the vision for every one of you to make this kind of people in your organization. But I want to touch on Mr. Bryant there in Fresno. Unmute his phone if we can. And I want Ahmed. Mr. Bryant, you can say hello to Mr. Ahmed. I told you I was going to try to make that happen for you, sir. So will you say hello to him and maybe ask him one question?
Hey, Brian, I hope you're well, brother. Absolute honor.
Mr. Brian, hope you're good.
He's your biggest fan, guys. He watched the video at least. He said 1,000. I know at least 250.
Oh, pleasure, man. Look,
it's
an absolute honor. Honestly, I remember. Like I used to watch so many, you know, leaders' promotion videos on YouTube, because, you know, you have to get inspired by somebody, right? So so really appreciate it, Brian. Brian, if you have a question, go ahead.
Hey, this is me all day and night.
Oh wow. Wow. You know, it's funny because when I look at that video now, like I remember like it was yesterday, but it's funny because I was only in ACN at that time. I was only in ACN 2 years, and it's crazy because now I look back, you know, and when you watch yourself, it's funny how many things actually change in that time span as well. So thank you, Brian. I really appreciate it, man.
And it's funny because I get home and then I see my 3-year-old and my 2-year-old watching the same video.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. You know, in fact, you know, every single time my son actually sees me on YouTube, right, he's like, Papa, and even he's like, you know, it's funny because anytime he sees it, he says the same thing. He's like, Papa, like he gets all excited. Where is he? He's somewhere in there. They're somewhere around, you know, we're just at home kind of quarantining. But yeah, Brian, I really appreciate it. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's one of your biggest fans. I tell you what, I've gone by his office there, and the videos in the background playing. He goes, "See, Mr. Thomas? See?" Oh my God, he is. Yeah, yeah. We thank gentlemen. One thing I want before I let you guys go, and I thank you for taking time on your schedule. I know we chatted yesterday on a personal basis as friends, but I also want you to share with something. One um, a brand new person just got started, and I know this is the question some people are asking. What shall a brand new person do in this? Oh, look at him! There he is, the little man. There he is.
Say hi. Say hi. You're not going to be able to hear him because I've got AirPods on.
Yeah. Well, listen, guys, I want to thank you for your time. Is there anything you guys want to say in closing?
Yeah. AirPods, yeah. Definitely.
Is there any word of last words you want to say in closing to anybody listening?
Guys, just the final thing that I would honestly say is just take advantage of this time that we're in. Believe me, like for me, you know, people, I see people getting upset about, you know, the quarantine. Yes, you know, we've been at home for like almost a month now. It can get tiring, but you know, one thing I will tell you is such a blessing that you're able to do the business, spend time with your babies, have every meal with your family, but then at the same time still build the business. And it really, really is the right timing. And I cannot just stress it enough that I promise you when I say you can really, really build something big. So by the time the quarantine's done, you have a massive head start in comparison to someone that's just starting right now. So I've got the little baby here, guys, so I'll let you guys go. Thank you, Mr.
All right. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you, 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 thank you. Wow, that was powerful. Today at 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock, today at 1 o'clock, Mr. Oren Solomon's opening up at 3 o'clock. We have the Four Horsemen at 1 and 3 today. I will be back on this same number at 6 tonight to do my regular 1 through 8 that I promised that I do every month, every Friday this month. Plus at 6:30, I added on leadership at 6:30. So half an hour and then soon hang up and get right back on to dismiss our guest. And I'm gonna go on 6:30 right after, and I'm gonna do a leadership called Ask Al, and we're gonna really go into some heavy duty stuff tonight. So be ready. Have a glass of wine, whatever you want to have, because we're gonna spend some time together in leadership called Ask Al, and boy, we're gonna talk about some global stuff. See, I had to get these guys on here to open your minds up because we think so small. We think of our little city. We think, you guys hear what they said globally? I got to see, there's 200 million people looking for you right now. So anyway, I'll save that for later. 1 o'clock today, we'll open up with Ms. Oren Solomon, the Four Horsemen, the three of us will be. Tomorrow morning, we'll have another horseman joining us at 1. And anyway, and don't forget, today at 6 o'clock, 1 through 8 on here with guests. 6:30 leadership, Ask Al, and we're gonna have a great Friday. Matter of fact, like they said, I'm building my business around. Around all this from my house. What they say is numbers are going up. Guess what? I keep telling you guys, my numbers are going up every day because people are joining. The question is, how many are you getting joining? So with that, I want to thank everybody on the call this morning. And last but not least, we have a YouTube channel we want to announce today and promote it. So Mr. Bree Clemens has been working on this in the background. Some of you have heard about it, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to share it on the screen. Go to youtube.com and search for Destiny International. Look for the D for Destiny's logo. Temporary link is right there. And we have just 50. We just announced it, but today we're really revealing everybody. We have everything dating back to October with all the 5 women on there. We have November, the 5 guys international. We have the Spanish, everything you need to build your business. We have on that channel. So you go back and see the Spanish ones. You can go back and see the ladies we had. You can go back and see the men globally when I did the global one in November to give you guys a vision how big this could be. So you want to be able to be on the YouTube channel. Go back and listen to again and again, send it out to people. But this is a great tool to help build your business. Al Thomas is not an internet person, but I'm getting there, as you can probably tell. Here is a channel you can use to help build your business 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But if we can't get them live, get them on that. But get them. There's too many people looking right now. Hey, folks, we'll be back today at 1 o'clock p.m. with the 3 of the 4 horsemen. Tomorrow morning, all 4 horsemen will be here. Take care. God bless. 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock today. I'll be back here at 6 o'clock with me doing the 1 through 8. And then at 6:30, I'm going to do a leadership tonight called Ask Al. And boy, howdy, we're going to have a great day today. God bless. I'll talk to everybody at 1 o'clock. Thank you, Miss Bill. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank, I see Joyce out there, Brewer. Thank you so much.